Another great interview segment from the Racing Insiders Show.
Earlier, we had a chance to talk to Eric Prill, Vice President of Marketing and Communications at the Sports Car Club of America, about one of the club's 2 signature events, the June Sprints. Eric Prill, welcome to the Racing Insiders and the June Sprints. People that don't know sports car racing don't understand the importance of the June Sprints. Quickly, tell us how important it is.
Well, a lot of auto racing started in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, back into the 50s, and this year we had the 50th running of the WeatherTech Chicago Region June Sprints, annually the biggest non-runoffs event that SCCA has, the runoffs being our national championship event. So each year we have well over 300 competitors that head up to Wisconsin for really some tremendous racing in the middle of in early summer at such a historic track like Road America.
You have 2 veteran SCCA racers here. Peter, get in there.
Well, Eric, I mean, it's a great event. I've run it a couple of times. Speak about that the runoffs is going elsewhere next year, and then I think the June Sprints will be right back to its luster.
The June Sprints has long been a destination for people, and I happen to agree with you. I think that once the runoffs moves, you may actually see a spike in the June Sprints, because who doesn't want to go up to Road America at some point throughout the year? Some people will go twice, 2, 3 times, but for those that travel, it could definitely help the event next year.
Pro racers are wanting to come back to win the runoffs, especially we got the 50th June Sprints. This is also, ironically, the 50th runoffs. Pretty big show. Right. Tony Rivera, Scott Tucker, guys like me, everybody's wanting to come back and win the runoffs. Talk about what's creating that appeal. Is it a bucket list syndrome? What's going on with winning the runoffs these days?
Well, Jim, you know how difficult it is to win the runoffs. You've been fortunate enough to stand on top of the podium, but it doesn't come easy, and there are a lot of guys that have been in SCCA club racing and participated and raced toward a national championship and haven't quite been able to pull it off. The biggest name that comes to mind is Michael Andretti. You know, the things that he went on to do, tried to win the runoffs, never did. So we do have a lot of guys that have gone on to have pretty solid pro careers, championships in professional racing, and some of these guys are coming back. You know, we hear about John Morton coming back to run the 50th runoffs, but it really is going to make for one of the greatest fields that we've ever seen at the runoffs, and it's very fitting being the 50th runoffs.
Well, it's few times I get to say this, but I'm so proud that I know Peter and we do this show together with his stature and making the rules to help my little class be BOP, to say balance of performance. Peter, I really applaud you for what you do, especially for what you're going to do in e-production. Bill?
Eric, before we get away from here, do you have any ideas? The SCCA ever done any studies on the number of guys the percentage of guys who win the runoffs or the June Sprints and go into careers as successful professional drivers?
We haven't done we don't have any real scientific data, but I can tell you as the guy and part of the department that looks at the runoffs historical database, which has almost 8,000 drivers that have participated in the national championship runoffs over the years. And when you go through that list, it's a who's who in sports car racing in North America. And it really has become a springboard. It was back in the 60s, you know, when you think about the Donahues of the world, and then you get into the 70s and Elliott Forbes Robinson, and in the 80s and Paul Newman in the 90s, and a guy like Jim Daniels. Or Randy Popst and some people, Peter Cunningham, that have gone on to great success in professional racing. So it really does. It continues to be.
SCCA racing is a springboard. Some people use it as a destination. The SCCA is a relationship with Pirelli World Challenge. But a lot of people go to the runoffs and go to the June Sprints and end up your fans, people that cheer for them, and their history is in the SCCA. Eric, it's great to talk to you again. Hope to see you at a racetrack soon.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
The Racing Insiders on MAV TV every Thursday at 2 and 5 o'clock Eastern, and again on Saturdays at 12:30 midday.